The name of a story is The Greed of Ali Baba's Wife, a tale of treasures and character. Once upon a time, there lived a poor woodcutter named Ali Baba. He struggled to make ends meet and provide for his family. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ali Baba, working in the forest, suddenly he heard a hushed voice nearby. Curiosity sparked within him, and he stealthily moved closer to investigate. To his surprise, he saw two boys engaged in an animated conversation. "I heard my father talking to Uncle Hazen," said one of the boys excitedly. He said, "There is a hidden treasure beyond the mountains in the Cave of Wonders. They say it's filled with unimaginable riches." The other boy's eyes widened with astonishment. "Really? How do we get there?" They said the cave can be found by a large rock near the old oak tree. The first boy continued, "And there's a magical phrase you have to say to make the cave's entrance appear." Ali Baba's heart skipped a beat. The description of the cave and the magical phrase sounded eerily similar to what he had witnessed with the bandits and their hidden treasure. He couldn't believe his luck. Another chance to discover untold riches. Determined to find this treasure and improve his family's life, Ali Baba decided to follow the boys discreetly. They led him through winding paths, crossing valleys and climbing mountains, until they reached a towering old oak tree. There, hidden behind a large rock just as described, was the entrance to the Cave of Wonders. The boys recited the magical phrase, "Open sesame," and the rock slowly split open, revealing the dazzling treasures within the cave. Ali Baba watched in awe as the first boy ventured inside, his eyes shining with excitement. The second boy was afraid of going inside. As nightfall was being approached, the surroundings were adding an air of mystery to the scene. He asked his friend to wait for tomorrow morning, as they didn't know how long it could take them to unravel the treasure. Ali Baba was happy about their departure. Waiting for the boys to leave, Ali Baba memorized the magical phrase and decided to act cautiously. He waited until the boys left. He lightened the wood in his hand and stood before the rock. He took a deep breath and spoke the magical words, "Open sesame." To his amazement, the rock obediently split open. He entered the cave and started looking for the treasure. After taking a short stroll, he saw gold everywhere. He was in complete disbelief when he saw his incredible stroke of luck. He stood there for a few minutes, soaking in the joy of his newfound fortune and the gleaming gold he had acquired. Excitedly, he started collecting all gold with trembling hands. In no time, he collected the gold in a bag. Clutching the bag, he quickly made his way home. He shared his discovery with his loving wife, and they marveled at their newfound wealth. Ali Baba's wife, overwhelmed by the sudden wealth and consumed by greed, became rude and arrogant towards others. She found herself isolated from her community. People began to resent her for her haughty behavior and forgot the kind and humble woman she used to be. One day, a mysterious lady dressed in rich garments arrived at Ali Baba's home. Despite the wife's rude demeanor, the lady remained composed and smiled warmly. She introduced herself as Amina and said, "I've heard of your recent good fortune. I have a proposition for you." Ali Baba's wife, enticed by the prospect of gaining even more gold, reluctantly listened to Amina's offer. "I have access to a secret treasure vault," Amina continued, "and I can offer you a deal. If you give me 10 tola of gold today, I will return next week and give you 20 tola in return." The wife's eyes sparkled with greed at the prospect of doubling her gold. She considered the offer, thinking of all the things she could do with more wealth. Ignoring any sense of caution, she agreed to the deal and handed Amina the 10 tola of gold. Amina took the gold with a gracious smile and said, "Thank you for your trust. I will return next week with your 20 tola as promised." The wife eagerly waited for Amina's return, dreaming of the endless possibilities that awaited her with the additional gold. However, as the days passed and the promised week drew near, Amina never showed up. Weeks turned into months, and the wife began to realize she had been tricked. Her heart sank with regret as she understood the consequences of her greed and arrogance. She had lost her precious gold, and worse, she had lost the trust and respect of her community. Ashamed of her behavior, the wife sought to make amends. She apologized to her neighbors and tried to mend the relationships she had damaged. Slowly, she began to regain the trust and friendship of those around her. The experience taught the wife a valuable lesson in humility and the consequences of giving in to greed. She vowed never to let her newfound wealth change her character again. Instead, she used her remaining gold to help those in need and support charitable causes, seeking to make a positive impact on her community. From that day on, Ali Baba's wife became known for her kindness, generosity, and wisdom. She became a shining example of how one can learn from their mistakes and grow into a better person. The tale of her transformation spread throughout the city, serving as a reminder to all about the importance of staying true to one's values and treating others with respect and compassion. Let's check your IQ level. You have to answer 5 mix correctly given from short story. Let's start. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.